Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pikmin! In the last episode, we landed on a strange planet and found a strange but helpful local life form who was willing to... I'll say willing, they certainly... Well, they are willing, they definitely seem able to assist us. So, we are now, with the help of these Pikmin, working to get our ship, the SS Dolphin, back up and running. We got 2 ship parts and we have remaining 28 to get over the next 28 days. So, I've started, as you've noticed, by plucking out a fair few reds. I'm going to pluck this grass again in the hope of, yes, getting nectar. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of nectar. Oh yes. Drink it down, you fucks. That was unnecessarily aggressive. Oh, look at that. 60... 58? There we go. 60 flower Pikmin. That's very good. Because I first need to use these guys for their combat capabilities. Reds are very good in combat for 2 reasons. Number 1, you just tend to have more of them because you get them earlier in the game, but also they are, literally speaking, the best at combat. They deal slightly more damage than the yellow Pikmin, so they should very much be your go-to fighting Pikmin. You'll notice there, those ones got hit. They didn't get killed, but they lost their flowers and went back to being buds. That's worth knowing. I've used this little shortcut here, which brings us back to where we were yesterday, and the new enemy! Ow, buggery. One of them even hit me, the bastard. These are sheer grubs. So they burrow out the ground and take snaps at Pikmin. They're not very strong, but they come in irritating swarms, and they can get your Pikmin annoyingly fast. And as you saw there, loads of Pikmin tend to swarm on them, so you can lose them. You can lose Pikmin to them surprisingly irritatingly. Decide what you're trying to say. Surprisingly irritating or irritatingly easily. Both of those, actually, I think, are appropriate here. And they keep fucking coming. The female ones, you'll notice these little kind of paler coloured ones can't even attack, which makes them a little bit impotent, but I don't know why I put much more emphasis on the word impotent than I did on other words. Right, I'm going to take these guys and set them to work on this gate. This is a black gate. This will take a very long time to break through. But I've got some other nonsense I want to do in the intervening time, and that will be best. You may have noticed as well, when we withdrew Pikmin from the Onion, something that's worth knowing. The Onion preferentially gives you Pikmin in order of quality, so it will give you flower Pikmin first until it's run out, then it will do buds, then it will do leaves. And this is quite a handy trick to kind of be aware of. Because it can... Actually, you know what, while I'm doing this... Leave you guys there for now. I actually want to take out... I've not got enough. Wonderful. Let's slap some of these back in. Because I'm plucking, but while I'm plucking, I actually want to take out... So yellows are going to be... Oh, fuck off. I've got to actually wait for them to go physically back into the onion. There we go. Now our number starts decreasing. Yellows are kind of going to be the order of the day here to get the various parts that I want to get. So I want to actually set these guys making a few more yellows in the meantime. So let's test out one of the new features of yellow Pikmin. If I chuck them up there, look how high they fly. That's not a trick that your old red Pikmin can do. Yellow Pikmin can be thrown much higher than red Pikmin. So they can be thrown higher, and they can also handle bomb rocks. Those are the 2 kind of tricks of it. So I'll have them carry that back while I pluck the remainder of these ones, and I've got the reds over there working on the wall. And this is what I was talking about last episode. Pikmin as it is at its finest when you're multitasking like a goddamn boss, which I currently am, which is great. Because no, you don't have a huge amount of time, you have about 14 minutes in a day, and so the game is just about what can you really do with that time to make it completely worthwhile. So I'm going to deposit all of those, if only because I want to withdraw the flowers back out. Now that's going to get me 20 yellows, so I'll have 45 yellows, so I want to make sure there's room for them to actually emerge. Actually, yeah I do. So I'll take 35 of these reds out, which should entirely be flowers. Wonderful. While they're focusing up there, I'm going to... Shit, that sounded really good. I spat on the microphone. I'm going to take these guys and also set them to work on the wall. I nearly said I'd make Mexico pay for it. Fucking hell. Terrible, terrible person. I'm going to leave those yellows in the ground over there, and I'm going to get these ones to work on... some nectar. Hopefully I can withdraw... Actually, there's already some nectar over there. Already some nectar. And there's already some nectar over here. Oh, today's a good day to be the doctor. Right. Many of them have flowered. Let's flower these final few. Oh my goodness, so much nectar. This is the best. Things are going well. Right, good. I've got a small contingent of heavily flowered Pikmin, which is pretty nice. I've got 2 parts which you can get pretty readily here. You'll see there's that one there, which is behind a bomb rock gate. That gate does take a lot of bomb rocks, but this is what we have a lot of yellow Pikmin for. And we've taken out all the sheer grubs here, so that's not going to be a problem. I think I did some damage to that wall yesterday, and stuff you do between days generally saves. There are certain things that specifically don't, and I'll talk about them when it comes to them. Note here, if I press B, I'll switch between holding a bomb Pikmin and a non-bomb Pikmin. That also goes for colours. So you press B to switch between Pikmin when you're holding them. That's broken that down a bit. But I want to do a bit more to it, so this should hopefully be enough. You'll notice also the enemies that I killed yesterday stayed dead. As long as you keep returning to the same area on multiple days, any enemies you've killed will stay dead. But if you go to different areas, if I went back to the impact side, everyone here would come back to life, I believe is how it works. Someone in the comments can confirm that or not. Ah, did you hear that dun-dun-dun-dun sound? What that means is that the Reds were successful in knocking down the Black Gate, which is really nice. Sounds like they're breaking into Mordor or something. I can probably throw 2 of these and then keep one sitting, to be honest. Oh, that's a bit close. Oh, that one wasn't a bomb one! Oh, no! Oh. I just threw a normal Pikmin over there. He started attacking the gate, and he died in a terrible explosion, which was entirely my fault. Wonderful. So I've actually got an extra bomb rock Pikmin, which I don't usually want. So we've opened the way through there to that part. For now, I'm throwing all the Pikmin up here because they're about to bring something down for us. Oh, apart from Bombsy McGee, of course not. Oh, it be my whimsical radar. With this, I'll be able to see all nearby ship parts at a single glance. I need to press plus to check it. This part fills me with great hope. And indeed, it should. So, I'll let them take it back, and while they're doing so, I'm going to do stuff with these red Pikmin. I'm actually going to try and use... Right, so this is how we use bomb rocks in combat, by the way. If you chuck this guy over here near this spotty bulborb, he will stand back and he'll chuck his bomb rock at it and do a fair whack of damage. That guy's going to come after me, but I don't think he's going to be much of a problem. Where the fuck? There we go. So that guy can go on to that part, and now I'm going to take these guys and do some lovely multitasking. Look at this. This is very enjoyable. We go over here and we find another thing. It's the extraordinary bolt. I bought this incredible bolt because the salesman told me it is of extraordinary quality that's indiscernible to the average person. Exactly what makes it so extraordinary is a secret, but just look at it, extraordinary. You get the impression somewhat throughout this game that Olimar's a bit of an idiot. Anyway, I'm going to put all of these guys pretty much on that. You know what, actually, let's put literally all of them on it. Oh, and look at that, our whimsical radar has made it back. Brilliant. Look at this, now we're there on the back of the ship scanning. This important part can detect the locations of the other missing parts. The radar will be added to me monitor, which I can view with plus. So, this is a very handy part. It's one of actually very few parts in the game. Oh, are they all on that? Oh no, there's a few that aren't. Actually, it's the only part in the game. It's not one of very few, it's one of literally the only parts in the game, which does something. As I say, it's use your words, Doctor. It upgrades the radar, and I'll have a look at that in just a sec. Some of these yellows that we laid have now started budding. I could wait a bit longer and they'd flower, but I actually want to pluck them now while I wait for the extraordinary bolts to return to base. There we go, that was nice and quick. Oh, I keep saying this, but it's so good to be multitasking in this game. You're just doing something or other tasks are done for you, it's great, but you have to babysit Pikmin to some extent, and we'll see that more as we go on. This bolt holds the kind of value that... Is that like a man's man, a bolt's bolt? Holds the kind of value that only the true connoisseur can understand. So, this episode already, we are well above par because we've got 2 parts and it's not even midday. We can get at least another one, and I'm hoping for another 2 if we're very lucky. Right, I'm going to slap these yellows back in there. I don't want any of them for now. And more yellows from over here can also be returned to the onion. And how many reds does that leave us with? 48. I'm going to take out a few more to bring these numbers up to 65. While you can, as I say, have 100 Pikmin on the field, nothing stopping you from doing that, it's sometimes not the best move because large parties get really arsey to actually maneuver, basically. Ooh, let's try and get a little bit of nectar. Flowering Pikmin obviously does help with that, but yeah, it can be really cumbersome dealing with large parties of Pikmin, and you can really just open yourself up to making a huge knob of yourself with enemies. So I'm going to go through here, this black gate that we opened earlier, and we already did a fair bit of damage to this guy. He is, you'll notice, slowly regenerating, because I think we did half the damage to him. Oh, come on. Kill the fucking dwarf. There we go. Right, let's grab these guys before they do anything, and do the old bum rush onto this guy. That sounds dodgy, but isn't, weirdly enough. Right, we're not going to take any corpses for now. We're going to kill this guy, finally. And you'll notice there's... Oh, that was a nice one. There's another part sitting right here. It found the Nova Blaster. This emits a dazzling burst of light, capable of destroying almost anything. Not exactly sure about this, but the promotional brochure claims that these blasts can disrupt... its blast can travel in the currents of space-time, smashing through stars and into the rifts of space. All sounds very exciting. It takes 30 Pikmin to carry the Nova Blaster, so there we go, and I'll set the remainders on taking corpses back. I want to leave some of these bigger corpses for the yellows, because we're not so good on yellow numbers right now. Well, more importantly, we are very good. Oh, come on, bloody leaf Pikmin. They're so slow when you're used to the opposite of leaf Pikmin. Flower Pikmin, there we go. So I kind of want to spend the rest of the time... We've got one more thing I want to get, but I'm going to use yellows for that anyway. So let's take out as many yellows as I can, actually. 30 should do it. And I'll leave these guys all at the bottom here. And so now this means, because we've not got 100 on the field, so I'll just keep placing stuff anyway. So, here's something new. This is water. Pikmin can't go through water. If I chuck this one into the water like a terrible person, he'll start drowning. If you blast him repeatedly with your, like that, with your whistle, he will come back to you. But generally, it's a dangerous move. So I'm throwing these guys up here. But, ooh, there we go, here we go. And there's Nova Blasters arrived. Ah, multitasking, it's so good. Nova Blaster. This is a weapon of such incredible destructive force that it can blast stars into tiny pieces. It has a strange allure. So, 3 parts already this episode, that's great. Oh, to the point where this is upgrading because we've advanced our ship's capabilities. Look at that. By adding a massive gun to it. How intimidating. But we'll find out at the end of the day what that actually means. So, I'm chucking those guys up there for now. I'm going to use... Ooh, that was a voice crack. Too much pirate voice. It's not easy on the old pipes, the old pirate voice. Let's take some of these guys. Actually, let's take all of these guys. Fuck it, we've actually got the whole rest of the day to do what I want to do here. Wow, we've actually made bloody good timing. So you'll notice I'm just keeping chucking these guys up there. There is a reason for this. I'm going to come back for them. Actually, no, I'm just not even coming back. I'm going to literally come back to them right now. I just want to make sure I've got enough to take on that spotty red bulb, which I... Oh, balls! Oh, no. Come on, come back, you fuck. The trick, yeah, which is to hit him with it repeatedly rather than... Oh, come on! Oh, no, I thought he was drowning there. I was going to say, that was bloody annoying. I, however, in my spacesuit can go perfectly through water, so it's a kind of... It's a little trap that only traps Olimar. There's a part, but you'll notice there's a bulb in front of it. So, I want as many Pikmin as possible for this. I initially just took the yellows I needed for the part, and then was like, well, you know what? Might as well bring enough to fight this fucker. Oh no, bad times, he woke up. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is real bad. Right, I'm going to keep chucking him onto his ass now. That's the only way to stop him. Once they're up and about and moving, the approach I was using doesn't work particularly well, rushing him on the bum. Oh, that was not good. Right. If I hold Pikmin with A, I can switch between the 2 different types by pressing B. So I'm going to chuck a fair few yellows at this guy so he'll get taken at least back to yellow base. And I found me shock absorber. The apparatus counteracts the shaking and swaying that normally occurs during flight. It's smooth sailing with this in place, well, usually. So I'll set the rest of my Pikmin on there. I want to take as many as possible because I want to get that back pretty soonish. And if we drop down here, this drops down to where the Nova Blaster is anyway, but we can't get back up that way, so we don't really want to do that. And now I'm actually kind of done for the day. The only thing I really want to do now is just build up yellow numbers. There's a couple of Bulborb corpses around that I want to harvest up with the yellows. But we've got, what, a few minutes left in sunset, so I'll just basically get these parts back and then pluck these things, and then we'll get done what we get done. Oh, no, you actually need 3 of them, because I thought there were still some yellows to pluck, but I guess I plucked all the yellows, which is great. Let's return those guys, and... These guys should be about to return the shock absorber. 4 parts in a day. Wonderful. Shock absorber. This nifty little device counteracts the shaking and swaying experienced during typical space flight. I have now recovered 6 of 30 parts. Another 6 will increase my shape's capabilities. We've not even learned what the first capability increase is. But hey, well, I mean, oh, so we have got the radar. I meant to actually show that off. Look at this. We can now look around the map and you can see... marked by stars, where treasure parts are. So there's actually only 3 treasures left here. There's one over there after a large circular arena that definitely doesn't hold a boss. And then there's 2 over there. Oh, and that red thing there means there's 1 fucking Pikmin there. Bugger. Well, I'll have to deal with him now, actually. Otherwise he will get left behind. So let's slap them back in and take my yellows, and 22. Good, that should be enough to get both of these bulb corpses just about back in time. So we'll throw 11 onto this one. No, don't take the pellet, you fanny. I threw too many. Oh, and now I took back too many. God. I'm not a very smart man. Right, and... What? Why are you all coming back to me, you silly buggers? Right, there we go. Right, they're all on that. Excellent. They'll get that back in time. And then this one here. Oh, there's your little missing Mr. Red Pikmin. Worth noting something important. You'll notice here it's going on a mixture of Pikmin because there's a red one in there and a load of yellows. The number at the top tells you whose onion it's going back to. A spoil will always go back to the onion of which the majority of Pikmin are carrying it. So if you've got more yellows than reds, then it'll go back to the yellow onion rather than the red onion. Important to know. Right, we've done really well today. We've got 4 parts, and I'm hopefully now in these last few minutes of the day going to make up some all-important yellow numbers going forward. We've got the radar, which increases our ship's capacities, and we have another increase in our ship's capacities, which we'll see before too long. Oh, look at that fucking timing! Just as I stop plucking, they get back with the carcass. 56 plus 12, and the 10 I'll get from that. That's actually pretty good. We're on like 80 for them. And we're on over 100 for red, so keeping numbers up is nice. We've not had anything traumatic happen yet, and I'd like to keep it that way, but, you know, always be prepared. Prepare for the worst, expect the best. No. Yes, no, that is right. That is what I meant to say. Excellent. As long as these guys now sprout fast enough, we can just pluck them before the end of the day. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be real close. And if they're left in the ground, it's not the end of the world. They will just stay in the ground, as Olimar said, and then next time we come back to the Forest of Hope, we can just pluck them again. Because they'll stay exactly where they are. They're safe in sprouts. But, there we go. Return all of them to the onion. We can just have them in a party, but I want to return them to the onion just to confirm we have got everyone. Not that I can do anything about it in the next 4 seconds. It's not a second. But, look at that. Perfect. And just in time for us to go to sunset. We'll skip that because we've seen it before. 3 days since impact, and I'll add yellow Pikmin to my list of discoveries. These Pikmin can wield bomb rocks, so perhaps I will use them to blast down rock walls and open up new regions. Red and yellow Pikmin, as well as bomb rock carriers. Oh, I'm sure that wasn't important. You can break into squads. If you hold the C button, they spread apart into different squads, and I'll show that in the future. Look at that, we made some decent red progress and some decent yellow progress. It looks like that Bulbear literally only ate yellow Pikmin. That's really fucking unfortunate. We lost 18 in battle, but we sprouted 102. 121 reds, 80 yellows, that's a pretty good amount going forward, and we've got 24 parts to get in the next 27 days, so we're well ahead of par. As long as we... This is kind of what I say when I'm talking about the pacing of it. It's like, yes, it is a bit stressful to some people if you've got a... Sorry. Tonight at the video on the, 7-player online clusterfuck... I call it clusterfuck because that's what we call the project name. Quitflash went up, and it's literally just gone up, and I'm messaging the stag, and he's watching at the moment, he just messaged me saying, God, we're funny, full stop, and I don't know if he's sarcastic or not. It could really be either. Anyway, fuck, what was I even talking about? Yeah, we got good numbers. Oh yes, that's what I was saying. So, when I was a kid, I found this game really stressful, because I was like, oh god, I need to find a part every day. I would say more days than not we'll actually get 2 parts on this. You have to really be playing this game not knowing much of what you're doing to struggle with the time limit. You can do this game, I think, in 12 days, maybe 14. I think 14 is like a normal one, 12 is like a speedrunning. I think speedrunners can do it even less when you're glitching, but without using any glitches or weird shit, you can just, if you're just super efficient, you can do the game in like half the required time, so bags of time. Anyway, we gathered enough parts to upgrade our ship's capabilities, so... Oh, need to save first, obviously. Always save your data, kids. So we've unlocked a new region, the Forest Naval. This game is how I learned what the word naval means. And if you don't know what the word naval means, find out next episode. It's not to do with large armies of ships, I'll give you that much. Thank you very much for watching, and good day.